Hello and welcome to Prenatal. Let us come find a comfortable seated position. Now, as when we are pregnant, baby is constantly growing and our center of gravity is shifting. So how we sit is going to change from day to day, week to week. So be aware. What was comfortable for you last week may not be as comfortable for you today. So allow yourself to sit higher. Allow yourself to elevate. So sitting on one blanket might have been okay last week. Maybe this week you need a second blanket. Because as babes grows, there will be more need for space and opening. All right, when you found your comfortable seated position, we will begin. I'm going to give myself an extra layer. A little chilly here this morning. So for you too, find that comfort. You want to feel comfortable. You deserve to feel comfortable. There is so much change happening within your body, your emotions, that allowing for those extra comforts are particularly important now. All right. So as we come find our seated position, we'll come to close our eyes and we'll draw our senses inwards, coming to a quiet meditation for 5 to 7 minutes. So come place your hands on your babies and allow the warmth of your hands to radiate into your abdomen, on the skin of your belly, and deeper. The arms are an extension and the hands are an extension of your heart energy. And as we sit, we softly allow ourselves to drop into our bodies. And we draw our senses in, hands resting onto the belly, so that our heart energy can radiate from outside in just as much as it does inside to out. And as we close our eyes, allow the tip of your tongue to rest behind the two front teeth. And we come to drop into the breath. So ladies, connect with your inhale and your exhale in and out through the nose. This is important, cultivating your nasal breathing, as this helps to calm the central nervous system. Warm, cleansing breaths in and full, steady, cleansing breaths out. Slow, steady. Allowing the breath to move with ease through the body. Now, as baby grows, you will observe that there feels like there may be less availability to breathe. Know that when you place your attention to the sides of the ribs, the sides of the body, in the back of the rib cage, so even if you're not in your third trimester now, explore that connection. Breathing into the sides of the ribs, breathing into the back of the ribs. And notice that connection and exhale, slow, steady release. Inhale. And the more you explore this connection with the breath expanding into the back of the body, the more you begin to build that connection. And you'll be able to maintain that sense of having a deep, steady, cleansing breath in and out. As I tell my children, there's always another way to come at this. There's always another way that we can strategize to find something good out of a tricky situation. And change direction is something we can't have. There's always another way to get creative and find ways of creating something else, be it through food choices, be it through creativity. And it's good because it reminds me, the adult, that there's always another way to come at this. Take 3 more cleansing breaths in and out. Now allow the corners of your eyes to gently smile. And observe the energetic shift that happens in the body when you draw your smile in. Good. Coming to take your hands together at your heart. And as you exhale, come to bow your chin down to your heart, honoring your body and inviting your magnificent mind to merge with the wisdom of the body and your soul. And of course, that of your baby. Coming to open the eyes back into the room. Right. Change the interlock of your legs. We are creatures of habit, and especially during pregnancy and postpartum, we want to be aware as to where our habits lie. Once baby's out in the world and we are holding them and carrying them, we will default to our natural, stronger side. So you want to be mindful of switching as much as possible so that you're comfortable with your non-automatic side of holding your baby. Because otherwise, even, if you continue to carry your baby on one side, they're going to grow, they're going to get heavier. And you'll also start to create misalignment, and you might start to get discomfort and pain in the body. Because it's like, no, you're carrying too much weight here. There's too much strain. There's not enough distribution of weight. So then you switch to the other side. But babes are so used to hanging out here, they will wiggle their way back over. No, I hang over here. So being mindful to carry your child on either side. Just like if you're breastfeeding, you are aware of feeding from both sides. All right. So we've changed the interlock of the legs and we've gone the other way. We're now going to do what's called alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. If you're familiar with this breathing practice, the difference now is that there's no tension of breath. It's just a seamless flow from inhale into exhale. And it's a wonderful breathing practice. And it's because it's very calming. And it calibrates the right and left side of the body, calms the central nervous system, calms the mind. And it's also a wonderful one to do postpartum when you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding on the couch. And whatever that comfy chair is that you set yourself up and you discover this is the spot where I feed. And you'll find that within your home or create it. So having this alternate nostril breathing in time when you're at home postpartum, you can even do it without the hand, but I'll talk about that after, once we practice. So we're going to raise the right hand, and you're going to bring your pointer finger and your middle finger into the center of the palm. Thumb is out to the side, ring finger and pinky are raised. So we're going to take the hand, rest the fingertips and thumb on the nostrils. And we're going to gently close the right nostril, exhale fully through the left. Inhale, left nostril. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Slow, steady. Exhale, left. Imagine as if you are breathing in slow motion. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Continue 5 more at your own tempo. couple more breaths. When you're ready, release your hands, keep the eyes closed. Rest your hands onto your lap and just take several more breaths here and observe. Observing the effects of the pranayama. Observing the effect in the mind and the body. Good. And then slowly coming to open the eyes back. All right. I hope that was calming and settling to the mind and the body. It's nice to experience ways in which we can self-regulate our breath and witness that transformation through our breathing. It's empowering and important for us to know. When we are in labor, our body will go on autopilot. Shakti, the energy, the body knows what to do. The energy of the body knows what to do. The contractions will come and we will not have control over them. And when we are in labor, it is for us to surrender. It is for us to let go and ride the wave. And the breath will be a powerful tool for you to go with that. So focusing on your breath rather than that heightened sensation in that intense moment will be a very powerful tool. So I do focus on the breath in class so that you build that stronger connection with your breath and feel that beneficial ebb and flow that your mind, your mental mind, your physical body, and the breath all merge together and work in unison together. So allowing for that cultivation of the breath is important. So I encourage you to meditate every morning if you can, or at some point in the day. Morning is generally more optimal because the energy is the quietest around us. People aren't up yet, and there's stillness around us in our world. And if you have time, do your alternate nostril breathing as well. No retention of breath, no holding of the breath, just a seamless flow of inhale into exhale. Maybe just put the timer on your phone for 3, 5, or 7 minutes. You'll be surprised how fast that goes when you are honed into the breath. All right, let's come onto our hands and knees. Feel free to have a blanket under your knees if you need a little extra padding. We're going to spread fingertips and thumb pads wide. Allow the middle finger to be in line with the center of the wrist. Now, if this right angle feels strenuous to the wrist, take the head of your blanket and roll it up so that the heel of the hand can sit on an incline. It can sit higher than the fingertips, and that will alleviate any wrist tension you may be experiencing. As your shoulders draw away from your ears, Your knees are stacked under your hips. And you curl your toes under, but just let babes hang for a moment. Let the belly drop, let the buttocks lift. And if it feels good to sway the hips gently from side to side, do so. Just see what movement naturally arises. And just let babes move away and let babes hang down. Good. All right. From here, we're going to reverse the movement, flatten the tops of the feet, round at the back and draw the chin into the chest. Find that wonderful broadness through the back body. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale and round. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale and rounding. So let the movement and the breath merge. Back and forth. And then we gently ease back to center. I'm going to transfer the weight to the right knee. Curl the left toes under and let that left heel stretch back. It's going to be a really nice calf stretch. You're dropping the outer hip down and you're bringing your awareness to the inner upper groin so that you keep a nice levelness in the hips as you're stretching through the sole of the foot. All right, as you power up through the leg, slowly come raise the leg out. Pressing out through the sole of the foot, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Now scoop the belly in towards the spine. You can stay as you are, or you can float the opposite right arm alongside the ear. The thumb points upwards to the ceiling. Harness your breath. Now, you can keep your toes on the floor. You can just do the leg and not raise the arm. Depending on where you are in your pregnancy will depend on what is available to you. Now release the right hand gently back down. Let's cross the left foot over to the right side. And come look over your right shoulder. It's a delicious stretch through that left side, especially if there are little heels kicking into the ribs. Find that cleansing. Inhale, your steady cleansing. Exhale. And we ease gently back. And slowly come circle through the hips. Think of doing a horseshoe shape with the hips. Good. And taking your time coming back to center. Transfer the weight into that left knee. Stretch the right leg back behind you. Spread the fingertips and thumb pads wide. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And as you drop the outer right hip, bring your awareness to the right inner upper thigh. Enjoy that wonderful stretch along the sole of the foot and also the calf. Your hamstrings get tighter as your pregnancy develops because it counteracts the growth of the baby on the front of the body. So that nice stretch through the calf and the back of the leg will feel good to compensate that slight contraction of the muscles. All right, let's power up through the right leg and slowly come raise the right leg up, pressing out through the sole of the foot. And this is where that lifting comes from the inner upper groin, so that we're not lifting from the outer hip and bringing the pelvis out of balance. So as we draw the shoulders away from the ears, you can extend and lengthen the arm, thumb pointing upwards to the ceiling. And then as we exhale, we come cross the foot over to the other side. Now we come look over that left shoulder towards the right heel. Hip lengthens to heel, and we breathe again through the side body. Full cleansing breath in and out. And then release. Bring the knees nice and wide and draw the buttocks down towards the heels so that you can accommodate babes in between your thighs. Stack the fists and rest the forehead onto the fists. If the head comfortably rests to the earth, feel free to rest the forehead and bring the arms alongside the body. Allow for a couple of full cleansing exhalations, full cleansing inhalation. Just take a moment to straighten the arms out in front. Rest the forehead to the earth. And what can feel a little better if you slowly ease yourself up. Bring the knees a little closer in. They'll be a little bit apart. You'll extend the arms out in front, plant the hands to the earth, spread the hands wide. Let your belly rest onto your thighs. And as you root the hands into the earth, try to keep the arms straight and dynamic if your shoulders allow for it. But it'll be a wonderful lengthening and stretching through the sides of the body, through the armpit, the milk ducts, the glands. Buttocks are stacked above or slightly behind the knees, so there's a nice sense of stability here in the pelvis. Babes can rest onto the thighs so that this area is all stable, and it allows us to luxuriate in that extension and lengthen through the spine. One more cleansing breath in and out. And then you can gently release the arms, bring them closer in, and then press the hands as we gently ease up. Good. You're going to need 2 blocks, or 1 if you have it. And then you're going to have your bolster or your rolled up blanket, as we're going to take a supported child's pose. 1 block is upright. If you have 2, you can have the second block flat. Let me give you a better. So the blocks are like so. You place your bolster over the top. You bring your knees either side of the bolster. Let the buttocks rest onto the heels. If it's not possible for you to have flat, the tops of the feet be flat, not everyone has that availability in the tops of their feet. So you roll your blanket and you place that roll under the tops of the feet so that the tops of the feet are now supported. You may find that your knees, you have excess fluid and blood in the body. You may find that there's not enough availability for you to sit down. So then you can take a block, a blanket, something firmer in between the feet to elevate the buttocks so that you have a little more support in the foundation. Once you're set up here, take your hands either side of the bolster, elongate and lengthen through the spine, and then drape yourself forwards. You can slide your hands in underneath the bolster. It can be a nice cuddle. You allow the tip of the tongue to rest behind the 2 front teeth. Release the bottom jaw from the top jaw. And as you exhale, surrender. Allow yourself to let go. I'm going to have you rest here for 3 to 5 minutes. So close your eyes. Have that blanket over you if you wish a little more snugness. What do you need to enhance that quality of self-nurture? Be aware of the connection with the breath and allow it to be through the nose. Good. Take one more cleansing breath in. And one more steady cleansing breath out. Place the hands onto the earth and then slowly easing yourself back up. Good. Good. Allow for that settling to come into the mind and the body. All right. If you loved it, practice it daily. It's important for us to remember how to slow down, because even when we're pregnant, we're not necessarily slowing down. So reminding ourselves and giving ourselves the gift to slow down is so important, especially as a parent. We give so much, and it's important for us to remember how to withdraw and how to give back to ourselves. And in doing so, we do impart a wonderful gift with our children, teaching them the art of self-care and how to take care of ourselves. All right. Let's come on up to standing. Clear your props. And as we come on up to standing, we'll come to our Tadasana. Placing the feet hip width apart, toes are pointing straight ahead. Now this is especially important in pregnancy. We can have the tendency to turn the toes out. When the toes are turned out, we are locking in the sacrum and creating tension in the lower back and in the sacroiliac. So aligning the feet, allowing the toes to point straight ahead. Have a slight micro bend in the knees, very visible, but you know it's there. And that will help to align, because the act of bringing the knees parallel might make you feel knock-kneed. It might not feel like you can straighten the legs. So a slight micro bend will help with that realignment of the legs. Now, as you lift all 10 toes, spread them wide, and then softly let the toes rest to the earth. We're going to energetically shift our weight into the heels, just 5% more in the heels than in the balls of the feet. And our buttock bones are energetically going to descend downwards to the heels. Remember, we've got the growth of babes coming forwards. And this is why we tend to get lower back pain, because then, due to the weight of babes growing, it begins to tilt the pelvis. And this creates strain in the lower back. So continuing to descend the buttock bones down, continuing to allow the buttock bones to root down towards the earth. And we slowly begin to rise and ascend upwards to the heart. Shoulder blades are descending, collarbone is broad. And take a moment's breath here. If you feel safe, feel free to close the eyes. If you prefer to keep the eyes open, let the eyes softly gaze out on a non-moving object out in front. Finding our cleansing breath in and our steady cleansing breath out. Just being present to being still. Notice the grounding that comes in the physical body when we shift our weight a little more back into the heels. Just take a moment to observe how these subtle effects can have profound effects on the mind and body. This alone is worth being present to. Observe, breathe. Then as we inhale, We sweep the arms up overhead. As we exhale, sweep the arms back down. Inhale, raising the arms. Exhale and sweeping them back down. Good. Hands come to heart center. All right. From here, we're going to root into the right foot, and we're going to come step the left foot back behind us. Root the back heel firmly into the earth. And keep the hips square to the front of the room. This is important. As you can see, my back left foot is pointing more north than it is out to the left side. This allows me to maintain a straight angle in the leg, no torquing in the knee. And it allows me to have balance and alignment in the sacrum, in the lower back. So hands rest at heart center, right knee stacks above right heel. Find that slight lift up through your pubis bone so that the back of the tailbone descends down. Good. This should give a little more space in the lower back. And there's going to be a slight knitting together of the ribs. We're not going to squish, babes. It's all right. But just that awareness of containing the ribs, connecting the front and back body. Again, bringing a little more awareness to the back of the body and stability into the back body. Inhale. As we raise the arms up overhead, gently extend. Now, if you're in your third trimester, I encourage you just to maintain keeping hands at heart center. Just the act of raising the arms up overhead can create stress and strain in the pelvic floor. Harness the breath. Stand in your power of your Tadasana, of your Virabhadrasana 1. Feel that warrior that lies within. She lies within each of us. She can just get a bit buried. So standing in our warrior helps us to remember and embody her again. One more cleansing breath in. Now you are a goddess warrior, strong and powerful. Exhale as you sweep the arms steadily back down. Hands come to heart and step the back foot to the head of the mat, coming back to your Tadasana. Take a pause here. So here again in our asana practice, in our standing poses, I invite you to pull back 5, 10, 15, 20%. Do less. Observe how it feels to do less. Often less is more. So in our practice of doing less, we actually give ourselves more space to embody the pose. Let's root now into the left foot and we step the right foot back behind us. I ran out of space, so I need to step forward. All right, left knee stacked above the heel. Root into that back right foot now, right heel. Again, my right heel and my right toes are pointing more north, straight ahead, than they are out to the right side, so that my knee is in the same direction as my toes, and my hips can be square to the front of the room without any talking. If the toes turn out to the side and you try to square the hips, there's strain in the sacrum, there's strain in that back knee. Good. Inhale. If you're in your first or second trimester, raise the arms up. I recommend if you're in your third, especially in those final months, keep hands at heart center. Do less. Find the breath. Cleansing inhale and smooth, steady cleansing exhale. And then we sweep the arms steadily back down. We take our hands back to heart center. We pause in our warrior. And then we come step back foot to the head of the mat again. Take a moment, anchor back into your Tadasana. Shift the energy back, find your heel energy. And then we're going to step the feet 3 to 4 feet apart. We're going to turn the toes of the right foot in, and we're going to turn the toes of the left foot out. Let's come bend through that front knee so that we lengthen through the inner thigh, we draw back through the outer thigh, and we level the hips to the front of the room. This left hip might have the tendency to drop down, so you may need to assist it to rise up. And by taking the hands alongside the hips, palms facing up, will help you to see where your hips are in space and time. All right, let's bring the arms parallel to the earth, and we'll softly extend the gaze over the fingertips of that front right hand. Softly extending the sight to look out into the future. But the shoulders remain stacked above the hips. We stay physically here in the present moment. We're grounded in the back foot. We softly extend the gaze over the fingertips of the front hand. Cleansing breaths in and out. Now release the hands. Bring the hands to heart center. And I'm going to have you now crease a little more into that left hip. So imagine drawing your left buttock down towards the back right foot a little. Hands resting at heart center. And as you root into the back right foot, allow for lightness in the torso. Extension, length. So your right shoulder stacks above your left, your right ribs stack above the left ribs, and you're opening and expanding as the shoulders release away from the hips. One more cleansing breath in. One more steady cleansing breath out. If you wish to take it one step further, you may release and gently press left wrist into the left thigh. Take the right hand to the right shoulder and extend the right arm alongside the ear. Right hip draws down, and again you get that wonderful length and extension through the side body. Now, less is more. Don't think you have to go super low. Stay up higher. Your breath will be your indicator. Exhale. Release right hand down and ease steadily back up. Take the bend out of that front left knee. Legs are straight. Hands are resting at heart center. Triangle, Utthita Trikonasana. Roll that left inner groin out so your kneecap aligns with your toes. And then descend into that left hip. Let your left buttock lengthen to your back right heel. And as you root into the back foot, again, you're extending and lengthening through the spine. Hands resting at heart center. And we breathe here in our modified triangle, keeping hands at heart center. Now again, let your breath be your indicator. Smooth, cleansing breaths in and out. If the breath becomes labored or has bumps or jagged edges in it, You pull back and you do less. Notice that if you come up just the slightest amount, oh, it's easier. There's more ease. You're still working hard, even within ease. But there's that fine line of shifting into strain and being in ease. And this is where we want to explore and become aware. When do I push? When do I force? When can I sustain with more softness? These are very powerful lessons for parenthood. From the rooting of your feet, inhale, float out. Lift the toes and turn the left toes in, turn the right toes out. Sometimes we don't even realize that we're enforcing our wants and desires onto our children. But the more we can become aware of what is driving our desires, and even become aware of our desires, then we can make a choice. And it can start right here on the mat, witnessing what arises and just holding the space to observe it. Just that. Bend through the right knee. Allow the right inner thigh to draw back, left thigh, right thigh draws back. All right, bring the arms parallel to the earth. Release the shoulders away from the ears and expand out. Shoulders are drawing down the back body. Heart is opening and expanding. And we softly turn the head to look over the fingertips of the front right hand. Our buttock bones are descending to the earth. The heart is rising. And we come to find a smooth, steady inhale. And our even, steady, cleansing exhale. Good. Know that you can bring your hands to heart center if it feels strenuous at any time. Raising the arms up makes be surprisingly hard work when we're pregnant. All right, we're going to crease into the right hip crease. Draw that right hip down, root into the back foot, and elongate through the spine. Hands rest at heart center. So we're aware of spinning the right ribs forwards so that left rib stack above right, left shoulder stacks above right. And the torso is stacking above this front right thigh and knee. We're rooting into the back foot. Hands can stay at heart center, or you can gently press right wrist into right thigh. Left hand can come to the shoulder, and you can align the arm with the ear. Left hip descends into the left heel, and you breathe through this wonderful lengthening through the side body. One more breath in. And then we exhale as we sweep the arm back down and we float steadily back. Hands to heart center, taking the bend out of the front knee. Pausing here. So both legs are straight and strong. And we roll the inner thigh to the outer thigh. We allow the kneecap to align with the toes. And then we descend into that hip. Draw the right hip down. You're going to get a nice stretch through the right inner thigh, right hamstring. And as you root into the back foot, again, we elongate through the spine. Left shoulder stacked above right, left rib stacked above right, torso aligned over this front right leg. If you're straining, come up just a tiny bit and observe how that can transform your experience. One more cleansing breath in and out. All right, from rooted feet and strong legs, we inhale and ease back up. Good. Lift the toes of the front foot as we turn them. And then you're going to heel toe your feet back together as you come back to your Tadasana. Hands resting at heart, shoulders descending away from the ears. Finding the breath here in this moment. Re-regulate the breath. It will have shifted, it will have changed. So take a moment to find your connected inhale and your smooth, steady, connected exhale. Now the breath may be a bit jagged, there may be some bumps, but continue to breathe and observe how it transforms. Consciously slowing the breath down. All right, as we exhale, let's release and come back down to the mat. Now, we're going to come to Virasana. Again, you may need a block. I will give you a side angle and you will need a belt. If you don't have one, don't worry, you can improvise without. You will be sitting on the heels. Again, this might not be available to you with tight ankles or excess fluid in the body. So again, you take your blanket, you find that nice defined roll. It can just be 1 or 2 rolls, or 1.5 roll, and that will generally suffice. Taking that blanket and resting it under the ankles. That can be enough. Or you may find that you also want that block or that extra blanket, firmer blanket. Sometimes these Mexican blankets are nice and firm, can be rolled up. And then this can be placed in between as well. All right. So shoulders are descending away from the ears. You're going to, again, be mindful of dropping the tailbone down. Do you notice that? Do you notice it just created more space in the lower back? Good. Knit the ribs together. I felt it, and I'm not even pregnant. So I'm hoping you felt that stretch too. All right, knit the ribs together, find that containment. And we're going to take the belt into the right hand. And we're going to raise the right arm up with the belt. The belt drops behind you. Now, just be aware that when we tend to raise the arm, we tend to kick the ribs forwards and again, cause that stress and strain in the mid and lower back. So again, we're mindfully dropping the tailbone down and we're knitting the ribs together. Come take your left hand and take it onto the right tricep. So under the elbow, mid-arm, mid-lower arm. And then roll the arm in towards the ear. Bend at the elbow and then come rest left hand onto right elbow. So now let me give you that front view. Now, if this is not available, you can keep your hand along the front of the body. It doesn't have to be on top if your shoulders are not happy with that movement. This right elbow, it needs to be somewhere on this trajectory. Don't let the elbow splay out thinking, oh, but I can go higher here. It's not healthy for the shoulder girdle. So this is our practice in acceptance. Accepting wherever we are, even though it might not be where intellectually we envision ourselves or want ourselves to be. So as we allow the ribs to descend and we allow the elbow to ascend, you can stay here with the left hand on the right elbow, or you can release, take the hand to face the wall behind you, and then slide the hand up the spine. Gently ascending and rising. Shoulders drawing down away from the ears. Knitting the ribs together so that right elbow ascends, left elbow descends. Full cleansing breaths in and out. Connecting to the breath and the body. Exhale and release the arms and roll through the shoulders. Now this is a great one postpartum too, because it helps to stimulate the circulation in the milk ducts. So it helps mama to open up, because we've got this beautiful babes in arms that we have a tendency to round and slouch forwards. So this Bhumukasana cow face pose is a wonderful way for us to open up in the body, open up in the thoracic, the upper body. So let's come take left hand, take the belt into the left hand, let the belt drop behind you. Right hand, take hold of the tricep, roll the arm inwards towards the ear, and then come bend. Left hand, let it place behind the back of the head, neck, upper shoulders, wherever it naturally rests. And then the right hand will rest onto the elbow. Allow the shoulders to descend away from the ears, knit the ribs together, descend the buttock bones down. Find that broadness through the back of the sacrum, the back of the spine. And breathe in and out through the nose. Now, as you exhale, come release the arm. Take the hand to face the wall behind you, and then come slide. Right hand up the center of the spine. You've taken hold of the belt. Some people don't need the belt and can catch their fingertips. But allow the left elbow to ascend. Allow the right elbow to descend. Keep breathing into the broadness of the back of the body. Full cleansing breaths in and out. And exhale, gently coming to release. Let's roll the shoulders in a nice full round circle. Now we are coming to our Shavasana, our final resting pose. If you are in your first or second trimester of your pregnancy, we will use our bolster again to lie back over. If you have one block or two, if you have two blocks, one is going to be upright and the other is going to be down. You will place your bolster over the top of props. You will sit in front of that bolster. Now, you're going to need 4 blankets in total. 2 of the blankets will be your armrest. So you'll need these blankets to the side of you. Let's fold this one in half again. There you go. 2 blankets will be either side. This will be clear in a few minutes. You'll want a nice firmer blanket for your legs. So you're going to open, I use this Mexican blanket for my legs because it's nice and firm. It's got a nice thickness to it. So the blanket is folded in half. Now fold it in half lengthwise again, and then allow it to be rolled up so it's a nice long strip. All right? Your 4th blanket is your headrest, and you may want a 5th blanket to be placed over you. So it'll be 4 or 5 blankets. Now, these side pillows for the arms, maybe your couch cushions. You know, they could be your more decorative couch cushions. Make sure they're the same cushion so that the height is the same on either side. That one stays back there. So what do we do with this long one? We take the soles of the feet together. Let me do it facing you so you can see. The soles of the feet are together and the legs are out to the side. We place the blanket over the center of the feet. We lift the knees and we take the hands under the knees, under the thighs. Take hold of the blanket and fold it double under your shins, under your ankles. Feet remain on the floor, but feel how that then supports your legs. Good. It's there to support the legs so that your legs can be open to the side, but not straining, but they have support. Now, the support is what allows us to surrender and relax, and this is what we want. So, we are seated like so. The blanket, rolled up blanket, is tucked under the shins. The feet are, soles of the feet are together, but they're still resting to the earth. Our arm blankets are ready. Our hands come either side of the bolster, and we elongate the spine. We lengthen the spine. So our backs are as long as they can be over this blanket, over this bolster. Our arms are 45 degrees from the body. We can place our, if you have hand pillows, you can place the hand pillows in the hands. If you have an eye pillow, you place the eye pillow over the eyes. And you allow the body to surrender here. You allow the body to let go. And we find a cleansing in-breath and a smooth, steady cleansing out-breath. So those are our beautiful ladies in the 1st and 2nd trimester. For those of you in your 3rd trimester, this is not for you. You can't be lying back. Baby needs to be forwards. If you lie back too much in your 3rd trimester, then baby might spin and you might have back labor. You want baby's spine to be facing forwards, to the right, to the left, but forwards, not aligned with your spine. Otherwise, then you'll have back labor, and that's harder for you and for babies. So we want to ensure that we're not lying back. So Ladies, in your third trimester, you're lying on your left side. One of your pillows, you'll just need 2 blankets or 1 blanket. 1 or 2 is for the head, to support the head. Now, you can place your blanket or bolster in between your thighs so that your knee is on the same line as your hips. Another comfortable position is that you're lying on that left leg. You're bringing the bolster snug up to babes. So it's all the way up to your hip, placed right under your baby bump. And then your pelvis can rock forwards a little and your leg can rest over the bolster. So you're not right on top of the hip, you're actually slightly in front, but the bolster stabilizes your pelvis so that you don't have that sense of squishing your babes. All right, you can have your blanket over you, and then you can also have the blanket that you've cuddled into to rest your top arm on. You may want a blanket over you, and this is where you come to rest. So that bottom left arm is extended out. You can place your hand pillow, if you have one in your hand here. You can place your eye pillow over your neck, and that can feel wonderful right here. So allow the bottom jaw to release from the top jaw. And allow the body to surrender and relax. This is where you let go. And every exhale, you continue to surrender deeper into your restorative posture, into your Shavasana. I often sit in meditation holding the space for you while you are in Shavasana. Gently coming to your fingers and your toes in ways that feel comfortable to you. Allowing your breath to become slightly fuller and deeper. And when you're ready, gently ease on over to your right side and come rest your forehead down onto the ground, just to ground you and bring you back into the room. And when you're ready, slowly come to make your way up to a comfortable seated position. And we'll come seal our practice with one round of Om. Take the hands together at heart center. Find your elevated seated position, however that looks to you. Take a nice cleansing breath in. Swallow in your throat. Before opening the eyes, envision in your mind's eye the right foot resting to the earth. And from there, allow this golden thread to come up from the earth. Allow it to travel up through the outside of the right foot, right knee, travel up the body to the right hip, up to the right armpit, and allow it to silhouette around the right arm, up the top of the right arm, up the right shoulder, over the head, down the left side, left shoulder, over the left arm, wrapping the underside of the arm down to the hip, knee, foot, and back down into the earth. And allow this golden thread to have this vibrancy of healing and protection around the body. Allow it to expand outwards into your auric field, and allow it to radiate inwards to the center, the core of your being. And allow this to be as if it's your energetic force field, shielding you from any or all negative influences and negative vibrations. And if they are to move towards you, they just bounce back and go into the light. Namaste. Thank you. The divine light within me honors and sees the divine light within you. Wishing you a wonderful day and week ahead. Thank you for your practice.